Good morning, students. We are going to start our new chapter, and the topic of the chapter is From Cave Drawing to the Web, and it's 14. So, before starting the chapter, let's read the story time. The rock shelters of Bhimbetka lie in the foothills of Vindhya Mountains, about 45 kilometers northeast of Bhopal. There are around 750 rock shelters or caves, and over 500 of them have painting. These caves are more than 40,000 years old. They have been protected because of thick forest and vegetation. There are beautiful paintings on the walls of the caves. These paintings have been done predominantly red, white, and yellow colors, showing hunters, deers, elephants, battle scenes, tigers, snakes, cattle, and so on. Each cave tells us a story about humans who lived during the prehistoric times. So, students, what just we read, I am going to explain you now. So, students, before starting our explanation ahead, I need to tell you what is rock shelter. Rock shelter is a type of shelter which is occurred by the natural calamity, which happens with the help of the natural calamity like earthquake, erosion activities. It is formed with the help of the natural calamity, and with the help of the natural calamity, the rock shelters are happened. As happen, you see what happens in there. In the rock shelters, down of the rock shelter, people take the shelter. So, the rock shelter of Himbetka, which lie in the foothills of Vindhya mountain and about 45 kilometers northeast of Bhopal. It is from the 45 kilometer northeast of Bhopal. There it is told that it is found 750 rock shelters near in Bhimbetka caves, and over 500 of them have painting inside the rock shelters, or the rock shelters are more than 40,000 years old. They are protected, or they are still now there. Why the rock shelters is still now there, or why the paintings of the rock shelters are still alive, or you can say it has not been removed by someone, because it has been protected with the thick forest and the vegetation. This, or the rock shelters, are beautiful paintings on the walls of the caves. These paintings have been done in the color of red, white, yellow, which shows hunters, deers, elephant, and battle scenes, tigers, snakes, cattle, and so on. Each cave tells us a story about the human beings who lived during the prehistoric times. So, students, I hope that you have understood the story time. Let's see what we will learn in this chapter. We are going to learn about the various means of communication, the invention of the inventors, personal means of communication, popular means of communication. So, let's go ahead with the communication. Communication then and now. Early human beings communicated emotions and thoughts through gestures and sound. They also drew pictures on the walls of the caves where they lived. In India, such cave paintings can be seen at the Bhimbetka in Madhya Pradesh. Gradually, early human beings developed a system of drawing shapes to talk to each other. This was the birth of language, which is how we communicate these days. Before postal services was introduced, people sent letters and messages over long distances on either horseback or either through the pigeons. Later, telegraphs and telegrams were used. Primitive man, however, communicated by using sign and pictures called pictographs. As language developed, man started writing first on clay tablets, leaves, and then on paper, made from papyrus. Nowadays, of course, we use emails and other electronic forms of paperless communication. Let's move forward to the meet the inventors. So we will read the meet the inventors. Alexander Graham Bell, at the age of 29, invented the telephone. Samuel Morse on the American invented the single wire telegraph system. Based on the European telegraph, John Logie Baird was a Scottish engineer who is known for being the first person to demonstrate a working television. Galileo Marconi is regarded as the father of long distance radio transmission. Nowadays, we listen to the radio and television to find out about the news events occurring all over the world. We back in 1969 when Neil Armstrong first reached the moon, people learned about it through the radio. Radio is still of communication. The first television sets were not on bulky and large, but it showed everything in black and white. With the advancement in technology, LCD, LED, plasma televisions, etc. are popular in the market these days. So, students, what we read now, I am going to explain you in the broadly, or you can say shortly. So, as you know that early human beings communicated with the help of their emotions, thoughts, and certain gestures. They used to make the sound of animals, and also it was called symbolic language. They even drew the pictures on walls where they used to live in order to make some sign languages. In India, such cave paintings can be seen in the Bhimbetka in Madhya Pradesh. Gradually, when human beings developed the system of drawing shapes to talk to each other, this was the birth of the language, which is how we communicate nowadays or these days. Before postal services was introduced in India or in the world, people sent letters and messages over long distances on either on the horseback or through with the help of pigeons. And the telegraphs were used primitive people or the older days people, however, communicated by the using sign and pictures called pictographs. The language is called what? Pictographs. As language developed, men started writing first on clay tablets, leaves, and then on paper made from letters. Nowadays, of course, we use emails as we know that the email can be sent, the electronic mail email can be sent within a nanosecond by clicking, just we click and the other person is going to receive. But the olden time was not so. It was very hard to send the letters. It was required nearly month, years, or 2 years. Meet the inventors who has invented the new technology or new forms of sending message, which is telegraph, telegram, and televisions. Also, which is in television is also known as a means of communication. So already I have told. So let's go and meet the inventors. As they are not alive, but in order to meet them, we need to meet their inventions. We should know that their inventions. As we know, Alexander Graham Bell, at the age of 26, he invented the telephone. Samuel Morse, an American, invented the single wire telegraph system based on the European telegraph. John Logie Baird was the Scottish engineer who is known for being the first person to demonstrate a working television. Galileo Marconi is regarded as the father of long distance radio transmission. Nowadays, we listen to the radio and watch television to find out about the news, events occurring all over the world. As we are present in the modern world, we should go back to the 1969 when Neil Armstrong first reached the moon. People learned about the Armstrong that he reached to the moon with the help of the radio communication system. Radio is still a popular medium of exchange or communication system. With the help of radio, we are exchanging the knowledge which is the far away from us. Presently, people of the olden times still love radio system or radio communication system. The first television sets were not on bulky and large, but it showed in black and white screen. With the advancement in technology, nowadays we have LCD, LED, plasma televisions, etc. which are now popular in the market. Let's move forward to the personal communication. I hope students you have understood the communication system which was then and now at present system. Communication system, postal services. The postal services was stabilized during the 19th century. This during the was the time when the postal services was introduced first time. These days post offices are situated at every corner of the world. People drop postcards and letters in the post boxes. If we have written the letters, what do? We drop our letter in the postcards in the post boxes. As we know that in the present time the use of the post office or the postal services are very low because people can send or receive messages within a nanosecond with the help of the social media. But the importance of the postal services can be seen during the 19th century. From there, this located or the postmaster collected, taken to the post offices, sorted and sent to the addresses where they are supposed to go. In order to cover the expenses in the carrying out the entire process, stamps of various amounts are attached on the letters, envelopes, aerograms, and parcels. They are taken to their respective destinations by road, air, or trail. Let's move forward to the fax. Fax machines scan documents and then send them through telegraph wires. This way, documents can be sent to even far off places. You can also send pictures through the fax machine. So students, as before we learnt about the postal services takes much time, but the development of the time brought fax machine, which will immediately scan your document and will send in the wires with the help of the signals. This document which is sent is a can be sent very far off places who is sitting maybe in the foreign countries. We can also send pictures through the fax machine. I hope that you have understood the postal services and the fax services. Next, we are going to learn about the telephone and mobile. Until a few years back, telephone in the India were seen in the few households. Mobile phones were almost unheard of. In fact, to talk to someone in another city or country, one had to request an operator to book a trunk call, which would take a long time to connect. See what is written in here that in India, where if few households and and mobile phones were almost it was impossible, means the people did not hear the name of the mobile phone. What is mobile phone? They were not knowing. Today we have mobile phone in each and everyone's hand. Not possible during that time. In fact, to talk to someone in another city or country, one person need to go and request to the operator to book a trunk call, which would take a long time to connect. Now you might be thinking, what is trunk call? A long distance phone call is called trunk call. Nowadays, cell phones have become an essential part of everyone's life, as we know that in each and every one hand we have cell phones. From the fisherman out of the sea to the farmers in the field, everyone has a cell phone. As the beggars are also having the cell phone, maybe it is black and white, but they have. Cell phones work everywhere because they do not require fixed lines like the telephone of the yester years or the previous years. They work through a system of cellular phone and towards the towers and the satellites around the world or the earth. This provides signals to many wireless cell phones, communication satellites enable a lot of the data transmission like television signal, phone signal, data signal, and weather information. The latest invention in the world of mobile phones are smartphones and tablets. These devices are capable of wide range of functions such as connecting to the internet, writing and reading emails, and even locating the places such as cinema, restaurants, and malls, etc. So, students, what just we read? We read about the telephones and mobiles. If we go to the earlier days, nowadays we can see the cell phone in each and every one hand. from the beggar to the farmers, also the well-stabilized businessman or to the rich people. Everyone has a cell phone, and why the use of the cell phone is becoming popular in each and everywhere, because they doesn't require a fixed. The mobility is can be gone anywhere. What is mobility? Mobility means the cell phone can be gone anywhere. You can carry the cell phone in each and everywhere. Wherever you want, you can take and go. That is called mobility. The easy to carry. It is very convenient. It can be kept in the pocket. For this reason, the pupils prefer to keep the cell phone. As you see the previous or the long year back, if you go, then you can find the people of the 19th or 20th century. They are using the landlines, which were very heavy, and also they cannot be carried because they were attached with the fixed wires. As we know that nowadays we are using cell phones, and also cell phones doesn't require the fixed connection. It can go anywhere. It works with the help of satellites communication system. Or now you see we have television system. Television also do not need Nowadays televisions also do not need a fixed wires. They work on the signals. They receive the signals with the help of the satellite. Nowadays we also have smartphones and tablets, also smart TV. This device is capable of worldwide, which can connect with the wide range of functioning to the internet. Writings of the emails and readings of the emails can be done easily. We can also locate the places like cinema, halls, restaurant and malls, etc. Students, I hope that you have understood this part. Next move to forward to the next explanation. Our next explanation will be mass media.